Hey there! Welcome back to Reddit Dating, best channel for cheating stories. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel for more spicy stories.
We discovered that the baby we had 2 weeks ago was not ours. In search of assistance. The first post provides background information on my current predicament. My wife and I welcomed our first child a few weeks ago. In light of her sudden shift in attitude toward her phone, I've had my suspicions about her for perhaps half a year, if not longer. 2 paternity tests, conducted after birth cheek swabs, later, I've discovered that the child is not mine, and I haven't confronted her about it. I posted the initial RA post in the midst of a tidal wave of bad feeling, and I've since mellowed a little in my desire for conflict. The full, unabridged version is as follows. My wife and I welcomed our first child a few weeks ago. In the months leading up to this, I noticed suspicious conduct that was triggering in my wife, which was a result of my former marriage. She avoided giving me her phone number at all costs. It's true that some people consider presuming someone is cheating based on that, as stated in the RA post's comments, to be insecure and stupid, but I have now gone 2 for 2 on getting strange with the phone, which means that my spouse is attempting to conceal something from me. The irony of this conduct is that I am the one who engages in it. Not Snoop. The truth is, if they just played it cool and handed me the phone when asked if I needed to look up or Google something, for example, when my phone was dead, I would probably never figure out they were cheating on me. It's their actions surrounding the device, as well as their attempts to conceal things, that give them away. I have absolutely no interest in my wife's text messages, emails, phone history, or anything else she may be doing. I basically stewed on these feelings for nearly half a year before purchasing a pair of paternity tests, which I subsequently used after the baby was born. I received the findings in a short period of time, and both tests revealed that I was not the father. I actually spent the entire time praying that I was insane, jealous, insecure, or any other condition that might be resolved with treatment. I've never felt such a strong desire to be wrong in my whole life. It's devastating to seek advice and have people dismiss my condition as fictitious. I had a strong desire to be a father. When I first learned about the pregnancy, I was giddy with anticipation. I'm in my late 40s and I'm reaching the point where I'm ready to give up on the idea of starting a family. I'm not searching for advice, but rather for support in this situation. I'm feeling a little lost right now, because I've been cheated on in both of my marriages so far. I'm certainly not without flaws, and I do struggle with a few difficulties. I don't believe they will ever be successful enough to justify cheating. When I have an issue, I interact with others, which occasionally results in arguments, but I have learned to communicate effectively over time. I make it a point not to be the jealous kind, and I don't place any restrictions on my relationships with other people. Whenever I have dated or married someone, I always say the same thing: having feelings of jealousy and control will not prevent a cheater from continuing to cheat. If the person deceives me, I will almost certainly find out about it and deal with it at that moment. Having said that, it's difficult to avoid developing some trust difficulties as a result of this. Story number 2. I was dumped by my boyfriend for his ex-girlfriend, who he said gives better head. BF, 31M, went on a PA date with his ex-girlfriend the day before Christmas, 37F. This information was discovered by me, 24F, when browsing through his phone. His words were that I had committed an outrageous invasion of privacy, and that I had obviously wanted to discover something. He also accused me of cheating, which I firmly denied having done so. His other threat was that if I continued to be about it, he would yell at me, and he didn't want to be kicked out of the house himself. However, even though I continue to live with him, he has abandoned me, claiming that I was the one who dissolved the relationship. He struck me so hard that I fell to the ground and injured my hand while attempting to catch my balance on the ground. As a result of my pleadings with him to accept me back, he responded by blaming me of drowning him since I had become so dependent on him for my happiness. Whatever the reason for my writing this, it's probably to convince myself that I'm not nuts, and that I've been treated unfairly in the past several months. I, on the other hand, haven't. The feelings of bitterness and uncertainty overwhelmed me. His previous online relationships had always involved girls, and I was supposed to be fine with it. However, I wasn't at all okay with it. Despite the fact that he stated that it was not cheating, the situation persists. He claims that I abuse drugs to an excessive degree, and that this is my affair. For the interest of completeness, I should mention that I was completely clean before going out with him. My relationship with him prompted me to begin doing drugs, which was good at first, but he soon discovered that I had turned into a in the beginning. I was apprehensive about becoming his girlfriend since I didn't feel ready for a relationship and was worried about being hurt. Later on, I had a change of heart. He assured me that such an event would never take place. My ex-boyfriend claims I've transformed into a, and that this has caused him to lose interest in me, and therefore no longer loves me. I adored him with all of my heart and soul. I assumed he was going to be my forever boyfriend, and I never in a million years expected he'd do something as he did. I was really shocked. Every single individual who came up to me and asked me out got turned down on the spot. When a co-worker attempted to have intercourse with me, I politely declined and told him I had no desire. The most of the time, my partner was very possessive and accused me of cheating on him on a daily basis, which I categorically denied. Having threatened to end our relationship if I didn't grow the up and stop sobbing over him talking about or with other girls, he told me that I would be sacked. I would still let him back into my life if he indicated a desire in returning with me. I'm not sure what you're referring about though. All of my friends and family are interested in me, but I am only interested in him. It seems like at least 3 times per day at work, I am asked on a date. Despite the fact that everyone believes I'm pretty, if I were, he wouldn't cheat on me. I believe that if I was only good enough, he would not abandon me. All at the same time, he fluctuates between being incredibly regretful and kind, and telling me that I'm a child who is nothing more than a nuisance, as well as that I've completely wrecked his life. He claims to adore me when I do admirably, and to loathe me when I do not perform admirably. To rest and clear my head, I'll be going to my folks' house for the day today. I truly want to pass away. As if I were the most foolish and unsightly person on the face of the globe, I have a definite sensation that I am both. I loathe myself on a daily basis. This is all new to me, and I have no idea what happened to make me behave in this manner before. Please be of service to me. Which course of action should I take, and how can I get back on track? I'd want to point out that I've known this man for approximately 5 years, and we've had an intermittent relationship for approximately the same period of time. Before re-entering the relationship, I had to go through a period of self-realization. He's never had a problem like this before, and he's never cheated on anyone in his entire life. When I woke up the next morning, I was sobbing and puking in my bed. I didn't want to myself by calling into work. I'm at a loss for what to do. Please help me out if you can. Story 2. Coming up on 1 year after D-Day with my 31M wife, 30F, who cheated on me for over a year. Feeling conflicted. When I found text exchanges between my wife and a coworker on her phone on New Year's Eve last year, I was ecstatic. Because the conversation took place on WhatsApp, I was able to download and transmit myself the whole conversation. There were some quite explicit interactions, most of which were initiated by her, and she was the one who initiated them. She was being conceited and self-centered. AP even suggested that they should take a break if she is not willing to leave me for him at the end of their discussion. We were on the point of divorcing, but our parents pushed us to focus on healing our 2-year marriage rather than ending it. A small number of individuals are aware of its existence. So, to be more specific, I was betrayed by my husband, without any intimacy on my side, for more than a year throughout our 2-year marriage. We're nearing the 1-year anniversary of our discovery, and I can confidently state that our relationship is stronger than it was a year ago. In addition to spending a lot of time together, having a nice time, and so forth, however, the memories have been causing me a tremendous deal of grief in recent weeks. It seems that every change in temperature, aroma, or holiday event brings up memories of the prior year, and I'm becoming more angry of the situation. As a reader of such stuff, I have likewise spent much too much time. They have been deleted since March. I'm really sorry for what happened now. A condition connected to post-traumatic stress disorder was discovered by my therapist, who told me that I had it, PTSD. I'm genuinely contemplating going through with it and getting a divorce. A few weeks ago, I chatted with her on the phone and tried to explain that I had been feeling uncomfortable lately, mostly because I still do not feel confident in our relationship, despite the fact that we have been together for a year. She began to, and she humbly apologized for causing me such anguish. I'm completely aware of her feelings of betrayal. My feelings about marriage were mixed. There was familial pressure to propose, and the discovery of a year-and-a-half-long affair radically changed my perspective on marriage. Despite the fact that we seem to be enjoying a comfortable life at the present, my concerns have grown. Even though I have strong emotions for her, I'm scared that I will never be able to really feel vulnerable or in love with her as a consequence of the memories I have of our past relationship. Her and I have both sought counseling, and she has sought treatment as well. Our therapist took a job elsewhere, and so we had to stop going to couples counseling for a while. Whatever the situation may be, I'm completely at a loss for what to do. Anguish is associated with the dissolution of a relationship, especially when it is long-standing. We don't have any children. Instead, we have a cat who will be 6 years old in the next few months. Considering how excellent the advice on this site is generally, I decided to submit this post in the hopes of finding out if anybody else has had any real-life experience dealing with comparable feelings. Thanks.